What if I told you that a janitor with no financial education died with $8 million in the bank while a high-paid Wall Street executive went bankrupt? This isn't a fabrication. This is the true story of Ronald Reed, a Vermont gas station attendant and janitor who quietly invested in blue-chip stocks for decades and left behind an $8 million fortune when he died in 2014. And it's also the story of Richard Fuld, CEO of Lehman Brothers, one of the world's most powerful bankers who saw his empire collapse in 2008, taking the global economy down with it. Same world, same market. Exactly the opposite results. Why? The answer isn't intelligence. It's not access to information. It's not even luck, not entirely. According to Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, the real difference is behavior. What you think and feel about money matters more than what you know about it. Today, we're sharing the 5 most powerful lessons from this book, lessons that can truly change the way you make money. Stay tuned, because the last rule is one most people don't learn until it's too late. 1. Lessons. No one is crazy. Your financial decisions aren't made without thought. They're shaped by your entire life. This is something most financial advisors won't tell you. The way you handle money is perfectly fine given where you come from. If you grew up in a poor family, you probably hoarded cash, even if investing would have been better for you. If you grew up during the 2008 crash, you probably avoided stocks. If you grew up in a wealthy family, you might take risks that others find scary. Housel says we all experience a different version of the economy, and those experiences shape our money beliefs on a deep, emotional level. Just think, a 60-year-old American investor has seen Black Monday of 1987, the dot-com crash, 9/11, and 2008. A 25-year-old investor has seen most of a decade of bull markets. Of course, they think differently about risk. Neither of them is wrong, they're just playing from different playbooks. What's the lesson? Stop thinking of your financial behavior as stupid. Understand the programming behind it. Then consciously decide to reprogram it. A quick question. Think about your first childhood memory of money. Was it a lack or a surplus? Because research shows that this single memory influences every financial decision you make today. Isn't that strange? Lessons 2. Wealth is what you don't see. The person driving a Ferrari might be penniless. The millionaire next door drives a Honda. We have a deep cultural habit of flaunting wealth. A nice car, a designer watch, a big house. We buy these things consciously or unconsciously because we want people to respect us. But Housel reveals a strange truth. Spending money to appear rich is what prevents you from becoming rich. True wealth isn't visible. It's the investments you haven't liquidated. The emergency fund sitting quietly in a savings account. The nights you said no to frivolous spending. Wealth is what you don't spend. There's a famous study, The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley, that found that most American millionaires drive used cars, live in modest homes, and shop at discount stores. Meanwhile, those who lease a BMW to appear successful often avoid financial ruin after missing a salary. This game isn't about looking rich. It's about becoming rich. And the path to getting there is almost always quiet, boring, and invisible. Lesson 3. The magic of compounding. Warren Buffett's real secret has nothing to do with being smart. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion. People attribute this to his genius, discipline, and stock-picking skills. All of this is true. But there's one thing almost no one talks about. Warren Buffett started investing at age 11. He's 93. That's 82 years of compounding. Housel calculated that if Buffett had started investing at age 30, as most people do, and stopped at 60, when most people retire, his net worth today would be approximately $11.9 million, not $100 billion. The difference? Time. Decades of uninterrupted compounding. This is the lesson that sounds the least exciting but matters the most. You don't need a 30% annual return. You don't have to be the next Apple. You have to start early, be persistent, And this is the hardest part: never panic and back down. Even a modest 8% annual return can turn $500 a month into over $1.5 million over 40 years. This math is boring. The results are impressive. Wait a second. If Warren Buffett had retired at 60, which is perfectly normal, he would be 99.98% less wealthy than he is today. Not less smart, not less disciplined, just less patient. Try to understand that. Lesson 4. Getting rich versus staying rich. The skills that make money are completely different from those that keep it. Getting rich often requires risk, hope, and courage. Staying rich requires the opposite: humility, caution, and what Housel calls survival thinking. He points to Jesse Livermore, one of the most brilliant stock traders in American history, who made $100 million, equivalent to billions today, by shorting during the 1929 crash. 4 years later, he went bankrupt. Why? Because the same aggressive, leverage strategy that made him rich ruined him when the market turned. The understanding is simple but ruthless. The market will always have surprises. The only way to stay in the game long enough to win is to ensure that no bad event wipes you out. That's why Housel is obsessed with the idea of a margin of safety, keeping a cash reserve, avoiding excessive debt, not staking everything on a single outcome. Boring? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. The goal isn't to maximize returns in the short term. The goal is to keep playing the game 30 years from now. Here's a statistic that will shock you. 40% of all publicly listed companies eventually lose all their value. Even the world's most savvy investors are ruined. What's the difference between them and legends? Legends have lasted so long that their winners have offset all their losses. Lesson 5. Freedom is the point. The real goal of money has never been money, it's control over your time. Here's the deepest lesson in the entire book, and it's one most finance content completely ignores. The highest dividend money pays is autonomy. Housel cites research showing that the single biggest predictor of happiness is having control over how you spend your time. Not income, not net worth. Time freedom. The ability to wake up and decide what you do today without answering to a boss, a debt collector, or a financial crisis. This reframes the entire goal of money. You're not saving to be rich in the Instagram sense. You're saving to buy back your time, to have the option to work less, say no to people you don't respect, spend more time with family, or pivot your career without financial panic. A person with $500,000 saved and low expenses has more freedom than a person with $2 million in income and $2.1 million in lifestyle costs. Wealth isn't about the number. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you need. When you start measuring your wealth in terms of freedom, months you could survive without a paycheck, options you could exercise, risks you could take, everything changes. Call to action and final rule. Which of these 5 lessons surprised you the most? Comment below. I've read each one, and I'll pin the most interesting answer. One rule that changes everything. We covered a lot today. Behavior over intelligence, invisible wealth, the miracle of compounding, living to win, and money as freedom. But if I had to sum up the entire book in one rule, the rule that Morgan Housel returns to again and again, the rule that separates Ronald Read from Richard Fulds, it's this: play the long game. Be sensible, not rational. Save like a pessimist, invest like an optimist, and never let short-term emotions hinder long-term compounding. If you got even one useful idea from this video, share it with someone who needs it. If you want more content like this, subscribe. And if you want to learn more, I recommend the original book. The link is in the description. I'll see you in the next video.